Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king, S.W.O.R.D. And joining me through Discord, it is my partner in crime, the man, the myth, the legend. It is Joshua, Gangsta Time Cole.
It's called partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, Chris?
Hey, bud.
Wait.
Whoa.
Hold up.
Oh.
8 games.
Whatever could you be talking about, Joshua Cole? Oh,
These guys.
the New York
right
Knickerbockers?
here.
Is that
No,
what you could
no.
possibly be talking about?
Oh yes. Oh yes, Chris. This is just unbelievable. But very believable because I watch my guys, damn near every night, and they put in so much work. I love it.
Yeah, this
Lot
one.
of
You got
energy, man.
Julius
City's on
Randle.
fire right now.
Julius Randle's putting in work, dude. He woke up.
And he's got
Finally
company,
woke
man.
up.
Bro, that we number one defense in the league by most metrics, right?
Let's be
D-Rose
honest.
looking
If AD and LeBron come back though, they go back up to the top. All right, be real, but Knicks are doing
I'm
all
saying the Knicks winning the championship or nothing. Calm down there, Brian.
no, I'm
That's
talking
something
about
that
like they
your
go to the
guys
back.
gotta worry about.
I'm saying
y'all niggas
I'm-
gotta worry about LeBron and AD.
I'm saying when they get back, they're going to be top defense. You know what I mean? Because Frank Vogel is a pretty good defensive coach.
We'll see.
I feel like if
We'll see.
if the Knicks made the playoffs like this year, Josh would just evaporate into dust.
They probably are. No, they actually are.
Oh, I don't follow basketball. I have no idea.
Oh no. Well, no, it's fine. Listen, I'm not flaming you right now. I'm just letting you know we do have the 4th seed in the East.
well, let's do this episode in honor of Randall. Congratulations, Randall.
Oh yes.
For Randall.
Let's go.
Also joining us, I didn't even get a chance to introduce him because of the Knicks love here, but it is Edgelord, 64 ounces, big news, Brian.
What's up, guys? What's up, nerds?
Any basketball teams you want to shout out, Brian?
Shout out to Steph Curry for breaking Kobe Bryant's 30-point plus streak, 11 games straight. That dude's a fucking god. Greatest shooter known to man. So glad to have him back, honestly.
For Randall, for Curry. I'm doing okay. I have no sports to really shout about. I don't know. We got.
Wait. Also, shout out to the Overwatch League for starting their season off last week. Pretty pog. Pretty great.
OLW, the
So far. Yeah.
Quite poggers. Who's your favorite team in Overwatch League?
Shit, dude.
Favorite
Favorite player, super from the San Francisco Shock. You see, the San Francisco Shock are kind of like, they're kind of like they're like the Patriots of the Overwatch League. Like they're that fucking good. They're so fucking good. They're star-studded. They have amazing talent. But it's kind of like, I don't want to say they're my favorite team. I just really like their players. So I'll just say like, the Dallas Fuel maybe, or like New York are my favorite teams. But
Quite. In any case, I guess we should.
Quite.
This is a long show. We actually have a really big show to get to, so fuck all this sports talk. Let's get back to the nerd shit. It's time. Let's get into plugs. You can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Joshua Cole. Where can they find you?
At JD Cole _37, and that's on Instagram as well.
Yeah, Brian. Where can they find you?
you can find me at b.esp on both Instagram and Twitter. And you could also catch me on twitch.tv/itspunchline if you ever want to catch me when I'm streaming.
Nice. Follow the show itself at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram, especially on Twitter because we do a fun Twitter poll where we get to get your guys' opinion on what your favorite manga chapter of the week is. I have the results. I'm very excited to reveal. But if you want to get in on the action, follow us on Twitter. The poll goes up every Sunday, kind of when the chapters come out. So yeah, get into it. You can follow our theme song guy at drumfoo. At drum_foo. Very talented individuals. You can hear. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want to talk to us about, or comment under whatever video you guys are watching. If you guys listen to the audio version of the podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts, leave us a 5-star review. That would be super helpful. I get like little emails about where we are in the rankings, and I'm like, let's go higher. So give us a 5-star review if you love the show. It would be very much appreciated. I think that's it. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Hit that like button. Share it with your friends. And without further ado, spoiler alerts ahead. Let's get this party started. It is time to randomize. I'm giving you 5 seconds to get your big boot ass on the floor. Black Clover. Oh yeah, this is Black Clover, chapter 290. The audience voted RGC for the week.
Certified RGC. Certified
The king is back.
Certified RGC.
You know what? Hold on, real quick before we get into this. I have to have a word with our audience. You know, I have to have a word because you know what? Last week, I heard what you guys did. You chose My Hero Academia to be audience RGC when I'm gone. Only when I'm gone do you guys do that. But then I come back and then all of a sudden you want to put it back on the. You want to put Black Clover on the top again? Come on, guys. Really? Really? Do we have a problem? Do you guys have a problem with me or something? What's going on? Do I have to catch you guys outside?
Out of spite.
Yeah.
I really hope that was the case.
Hey, honestly, I'll tell you what. I don't think it's all that unfounded, but let's get into it as we go forward. Last we left off, Asta. I keep almost calling him Black Clover.
Mr.
Yeah.
Black Clover himself.
Yeah, Mr. Black Clover himself reverse the big spirit bomb thing that this fusion demon sent at him. And at that point, Asta has now just gone down to 2 minutes left that he can use his union form. So he decided to summon his second sword, the Demon Dweller, and go ham. He cuts the spirit bomb like 1,000 times. It looks really nice. He slices it really clean. You can see like the little corners and edges. It's kind of perfect. He chases this fucking demon around, and we get a little bit of an inner monologue with Lieb, who starts thinking about how he was the weakest one in the demon world, and there was no way that he would ever get to step up against the stronger demons, against the supreme devils. But thanks to Asta, he's ready to fight at the highest possible level.
So basically, he's like, the demon version of Asta.
In a sense, I feel like he had it a little worse than Asta because, like, Lieb endured.
He's a demon.
Yeah, and they're meaner than humans who just kind of like were ha to Asta. That was the worst he really faced. But yeah, and at that moment, that's when the demon is just starting to think like, "Whoa, nothing I do is working. This isn't fun at all."
Yes.
And this demon's like, "What is this emotion?" And Lieb, I guess, just like is like, "Oh, I bet you never felt this shit before, because no one was ever a threat to you. It's called fear." And the demon just decides to hightail it. He's out. He's like, I'm out of here, dude. And he's a little faster than Asta. He can't really. He's like getting away. And Asta's running out of time slowly. So after realizing that, like because Asta yelled this out, like he yelled out his one weakness in this union form. He's like, "Oh, all I do is like buy time for like a minute. I can run away for like 2 minutes."
Oh yeah.
And as he's getting away, guess who shows up? Guess who's back? Noct pulls up through his little demon, his little shadow portal thing, and summons a bunch of hands to grab this man with. He said, "Where you going? Where you doing? Where you going?
Where you going? Where you doing? Where you going?"
He told them, "I won't allow that." That's a big deal to tell somebody that they won't be allowed. That I am not allowing you to do something like as if that was your child.
Yeah,
he sunned him.
Yeah, he says, "Sit down.
He sunned him.
sit down and wait. So
Take it, boy.
he thinks to himself, I could hold you for at least a moment. And at that moment, he's vexed. He's very scared. And Asta takes the opportunity to run up on him and slash this dude clean in half. He says, "Get your dirty hands off this world."
Yo, this world. Your dirty ass hands, nigga. That was funny.
And
yeah.
he slices the demon in half. And it's at that very moment that's when Noct and Asta separate. And they dap each other up as they fall. Full page spread as the chapter comes to an end. This was the audience RGC, and I don't necessarily... it's not mine, but I will say I like this chapter.
I like this a lot, and it was my second favorite.
You know what really kind of saved it is Noct, kind of coming in and doing something. I appreciated that. And I liked Lieb a lot more than Asta.
He balances him out in a good way.
He really does. Lieb was probably the best thing to ever happen to Asta as a character.
The cool thing is that I feel like it wasn't. It was something that was planned, and even though he kind of just popped on the scene, it feels like he's been here the whole time.
Yeah,
like it makes sense.
Oh yeah, it's not an ass pull at all. Obviously, this was like Lieb was a character that's supposed to be coming in later. But yeah, I really liked it. I don't disagree. I have no arguments with people calling it the RGC this time because I feel like this hit me on an emotional level, which Black Clover does sometimes, where it hits that core of you that really likes just this fucking dope shonen shit, you know? It's like, when it hits really well. It appealed to my nostalgia senses of like reading old Dragon Ball Z and watching Goku. Like, fuck yeah!
Yeah, right. You arrogant son of a bitch! Now I'll beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut you up like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he just ended this guy's life for sure, though. Or whatever version of existence it is that I guess the devils have in Black Clover.
For sure,
it's unconfirmed.
I mean,
but I think they can be whisked away. That's what happened to the other guy in that last arc, right? He pseudo died or something, right? Something happened to him. He's not here no more.
Which guy?
The main guy, the main bag, the devil from the previous arc.
Dante?
The previous war arc. No, way before that. With the elf people, remember?
Yeah. Oh, no, he's here. He's helping the people.
Yes, the elf guy's here, but the devil from that arc.
Oh yeah, he's gone.
He's gone.
Whatever. In any case, I get what you mean. Black Clover. Really, really fun chapter to read. It's kind of like the quintessential Black Clover chapter. Like, this is the best kind of stuff the series has to offer. I appreciated it. And I am not mad this time. I know I'm very hot and cold on Black Clover, but honestly, it's good that it kind of evokes that passion out of me in general. So, not mad at it at all. All right. You guys ready to move on to our next series?
Yeah.
Then let's go. It is time to randomize.
Bloody cross.
Jujutsu Kaisen. Okay, this one is a lot. This is Jujutsu Kaisen chapter 146 about the culling game. Last we left off, the team went over to visit Master Tengen, and he explained a way to free Jogo from the prison realm, and he's about and their conversation just kind of continues on from there. Last we heard, there is a sorcerer in the culling game that has the ability to nullify any cursed technique, it seems. And we get a confirmation of that starting this chapter where Tengen is like, yes, this person can open the back of the prison realm. So I guess they have to find her and force her to do it. We get a little bit of an explanation as to how the colonies in Japan work in terms of this universe. There are 10 colonies in Japan. All of them are connected by barriers that kind of protect people from curses, I guess, to a degree. Or, Yeah, I guess it's kind of like how people can't see hollows in Bleach. I guess is what I'm saying.
Sure.
And now, ever since the Shibuya incident, the barrier has just kind of like moved away, has like just kind of like left Japan for lack of a better term, except for a certain area, Hokkaido, which is like such a sacred area that it's not affected really by anything that's going on right now.
Well, I think the playa has its own barrier anyway.
Yeah, it has its
So
own
it's just
separate
not
barrier.
included in the equation for the rest of Japan.
Right.
I want to go to Hokkaido one day. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean,
All nature stuff, right?
Yeah, the Jujutsu Society's there, so it's probably pretty safe, I would say. And then from there on out, we get just kind of a comprehensive breakdown of every single rule of the culling game. I'll try to make this brief. The first rule, thankfully, is a little simple. It's simple. You have to declare your participation in the game within 19 days. The second rule is that if you break the first rule, you're subject to curse technique removal, which is highly theorized that it means you die, because the removal of cursed technique is because cursed techniques are so intrinsic with your mind and your brain. Removing it might do something to your brain and end up killing you. So basically, if you don't participate in the game and you're a Jujutsu sorcerer, you're dead. Non-players become players at the moment of entry into a barrier, even if they don't mean it, which is all kinds of fucked up. But apparently people who are already in the barrier have a chance to exit, unlike people who walk in, it seems. So
that's fair.
I guess. Players score points by the end by ending the lives of other players. So, and generally, sorcerers are worth 5 points. Regular people are worth 1, which sucks because there's now an incentive to kill random folks who end up in their barriers. And the game master is actually, they ask about the game master, and Tengen explains that the game master is this, for lack of a better word, the Shikigami called Kogane. It's not necessarily a game master in a way where there's like somebody in charge of the game. I would say these are closer to just refs, maybe.
Sure.
Because these are the things that you negotiate with if you want to, create a rule later. They're the ones who, they're the game's interface.
They keep scoring all that. They can
Right.
ask them, how much time do I have left on this, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, basically.
Probably. Cool.
The sixth rule, you can use 100 points aside from your own personal value. You can do that to add one rule. You can't subtract a rule, but using the rule that you add, you can counteract other rules in the game. So that's the kind of the strategy there. The seventh rule, in accordance to the previous rule, the game master must accept any proposed new rule unless it has a marked and long-lasting effect on the game, which is weird. It's a weird rule. I guess like there is some wiggle room where they can't just add any rule, and that's kind of like the only advantage that Kenjaku has, is that they just can't like end the game or whatever. They have to do something to keep the game that keeps the game going. That's to propose a rule that continues the game. If a player score remains the same for 19 days, they die. It's pretty fucked up. And Itadori is like, I have to kill people again.
Dang it.
And Fushiguro is like, no, I have a few ideas. Interesting. And I think that's it. That's the last rule, isn't it? The eighth rule. I'm glad I got there a little faster than I thought I would. We get a little recap of what they've decided so far. Yuki and Choso are going to remain here to guard Tengen. Maki's going to go to the Zenin clan and collect cursed tools. They were kind of concerned how she was going to get it, but now that Fushiguro is the new leader of the Zenin clan, it'll be way easier for her to open doors and get into warehouses. So she's going to collect as many weapons as she can because that is her bag. She asks him, though, about this Juzo Kumiya's workshop, which is interesting. I guess like he's a cursed tool maker. And I guess she's gonna come back souped up with some dope new curse tools.
Okay.
Yeah, after she gathers her weapon, she's gonna find Panda, and Panda's probably gonna be back. Hell yeah. Big fan, one of these. And I like how Okotsu's going directly into the game after this. Which is
like, yeah, I need to collect some notes, so
I'm gonna go in. And I guess he's looking out for Sumiki as well, Fushigoro's sister. But yeah, he's going in immediately, to try and get some information on how the game works firsthand. There won't be any cell phone service for the most part, or they can expect to not have cell phone service, because that's part of a barrier's thing, is that it blocks cell phone reception, which is true.
All right, we get it. We won't see Okotsu for a little while again.
That's actually a consistent rule that I've seen, done before or mentioned before. In previous.
Oh, go ahead.
It was built up in previous things.
Okay.
It's like introducing Goku into the series and then being like, okay, now he's being taken away by.
We'll see him. We'll see him soon.
Son Goku.
And finally, Itadori and Megumi are going off to find Kinji Hikari, another one of these these upperclassmen that have been fabled to have the potential to be stronger than Gojo.
Oh man, a suspended third year.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm surprised he showed up this fast after introducing Okotsu. So, I think this is cool.
Well, their hands are tied essentially, so it'd be weird if they didn't think of him.
Also, it looks like they're doing a redesign for him, because his first appearance he was like black with a fade and dreads.
I actually don't remember how he's supposed to look like.
More.
What?
Yeah, that's what the original Hikari looked like in his original silhouette. But now this silhouette looks different from his original silhouette.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have to look up, because it's like Okotsu does hang out.
He looks different from how he looks here.
Okotsu was hanging out with this guy named Miguel, who is a dark-skinned man, and I think he's maybe the guy, but I don't know. I have no idea. I don't remember at all in that term. But yeah, everybody has their jobs. Everybody splits off. There's a little touching moment where, as Itadori leaves, he says, "Choso, I appreciate it." And Choso's like, "Don't die, okay?" Cool beans. We then cut to a comedy show, I guess, in Japan. And this comic is doing some weird prop humor, I guess, and he's bombing pretty badly. And he's getting yelled at.
Is there a banana in your pocket?
Yeah, I don't get it. There's maybe one thing that just naturally doesn't translate well to Japan, but he's also supposed to be a bad comic, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, his manager yells at him, I guess. He's like, "What the fuck, dude? How could you bomb that hard?" Dude, it's sad. It makes me sad.
He even has the lines in the panel. Look behind him, the depressed, weight of despair.
Yeah, he has shade lines. Oh, man. The manager bounces, but this guy who's just hanging out, he's like, "I don't dislike your jokes, Takaba. You don't have to be talented to make it, which is honestly kind of a nice sentiment. It's like a nice thing to say, I guess, but it actually kind of hurts my heart. And he's like, comics who are funny, the two types of comics will always be in demand: comics who are funny and comics who think they are funny. Which are you?"
Ooh.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I thought it was kind of nice for a minute, because he said, "I don't dislike your jokes," but I don't know. Yeah, I will feel bad if this question was presented to me. I do comedy sometimes, so I'm just like, fuck, this is my worst nightmares.
Like, imagine somebody just giving you like the straight cold facts. Like,
it would hurt so bad. But yeah, he's just sitting there, and it's revealed that this guy Fumihiko Takaba is actually a player in the culling game. So he is a Jujutsu sorcerer, probably one of the few that were awakened by Kenjaku in the Shibuya arc. And that's where the chapter ends. Yeah, wow. I mean, a lot of exposition. This is very World Trigger-esque even, where they really took a minute to break down exactly what was happening in the next
come on. Who else, man? Tabata?
Ashihara.
No, not the World Trigger author. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, Akutami is his name.
Jeez, you're good, man. You're good.
I'm just looking at his name. I don't remember. I just went back.
Oh, well, you're still good for doing that. I didn't even have the presence of mind to do so.
Thanks. Yeah, I mean, this is not a lot of necessarily plot so much as exposition, but very welcome because the rules are kind of like weirdly worded, so it was good to have a little bit of an explanation for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm very fascinated to see how this works. I think they have to find Hikari and then find this girl Sumiki. You know, that's their whole goal, is to kind of save her. But yeah, I'm very interested to see how it goes.
Save Sumiki.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to Panda making his return, doing some cool shit. Lots to look forward to in this arc. I'm here for it. But that's all I got to say about it. You guys ready to move on?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's randomize. Dragon Ball Super.
Oh, this came out early.
This is Dragon Ball Super chapter 71, The Heater's Plan. Last we left off, I almost called him Cereal. Granola made himself the strongest person in the universe. And he's off to find Frieza. He was off to find Frieza. He interrogated his friends in the heaters, and they said, "Hold up, we'll tell you when we find him." But I guess they're plotting for him to have a collision course with the Saiyans instead. And we cut over to Goku training with Whis, and it's a little bit of a training sequence, but there is something interesting that I really liked about this. Is basically, Whis asks Goku is like, "What's the difference between angels and you guys?" And Goku's like, "Halos."
Oh. The circle thing?
No.
Bang! It cracked me in his fucking head
Yeah.
immediately after.
Yeah. And Whis explains is that we're always in the Ultra Instinct state, while you and Goku's like, "Nah, I know, I have to transform in order to do it, but I can't just do it." And Whis is like, "Actually, no, your problem is that you think of Ultra Instinct as a transformation, where it's really a state of mind. That's what makes us special, is that we're naturally just always in that state. And the reason that you can access it as well is because you think of it as a thing you have to unlock every time you use it." Which is pretty cool. I appreciate
that was pretty cool.
I appreciate
they broke that down.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure that I'm exactly pretty happy that they're not making it like another transformation as opposed to something Goku has to become, as a whole individual. And Whis says it's the same thing for you, Vegeta. Like, your things is that these things are not forms. They're not like special moves. They're states of being. So always train yourselves to be better than your past selves. And at that point, that's when Whis points out that something odd happened in the universe. It might be an enemy. He's not really sure, but he knows something went down. Meanwhile, Granola goes back to his planet and just kind of like sulks for a minute. He's just waiting for the heater to tell him about Frieza. He's like, "I want my revenge." And he's also keeping an eye on his Namekian friend that he left behind. Meanwhile, the heaters are going off to pay Zuno a visit. I guess to find out a few things about the Saiyans and about Frieza, I guess. So, he sends the girl heater and the big guy to go off and find Zuno. Meanwhile, he stays behind with Gas, and Gas is upset. He's like, "Why didn't you let me fight Granola?"
No, stay there.
And he's like, "We couldn't afford to lose you, bro. And even if you could have beaten him, your moment to fight has yet to come. You're the only one who can fight Frieza." So we cut over to Zuno's headquarters, and they're like, the girl heater is just like, why should I have to kiss you? Because if you want knowledge from Zuno, you have to. Yeah, a lady has to kiss him. So he's just like, there's no way for me to answer the question without you kissing me. And I'm like, jeez, you fucking weirdo. And after much fighting about it, she just does it. She gives him a kiss, and he's like, he blushes. So
he's doing the
he's like,
to the side.
Yes, and that kiss earns them 10 questions. So they start asking their questions, and we cut over back to Goku. And he's getting the hang of the Ultra Instinct. He's not quite there yet, but you see that he's improving steadily. Very cool. Vegeta has a big improvement of his own, as he's like just destroying logs that Beerus tosses to him using destroyer power, and he really lets loose and ends up destroying an entire landscape. Some more development, pretty nice.
No, I think what happened with the big log. All right, so Beerus ended up surprising him with a big log, and out of instinct, he blasted it instead of destroying it. As you see how it left like a cavity, like it was a regular key blast or whatever you call that shit. So then that's why he was like, as you can see in that panel, he's like, yelling at him and pointing like, yeah, why'd you do that? You was scared? Just get hit by the fucking log. You're saying. What is wrong with
you? I think it's because Beerus was in his path. Because if you
look,
he's like right there where Vegeta did his old blast.
Oh.
So wow. I think that may be why he's...
So he really did do it?
Yeah, I think he got a little better at it. It's unclear. Right. I wish they had done a little bit of dialogue here, but I get what they're trying to do. It could have been either way. I'm erring on the side that Vegeta is also kind of improving, and this is him showing that he's doing his thing.
Well, he was definitely destroying all those little logs.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But I guess that makes more sense. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
Meanwhile on Earth, the heaters pull up to Goku's house, and I guess this is just like a regular thing. They're used to this, where aliens just pull up to their house and start asking where Goku is.
It's a daily occurrence.
Yeah, it just happens. And Whis gets a call from Bulma that she also got the visitors, so they call Vegeta and Goku to go down there because they say that they got a villain to defeat, which is of course Granola. And they basically ask them to help, and they do. But before that, we get actually a nice little scene where Beerus gives Vegeta one of his earrings, and is like, "You're part of my team now," and Goku gets Whis' insignia back. So, they're representing both Whis and Beerus. It's a sweet little moment, especially from Beerus, who tends to be so tsundere about the two Saiyans.
Yeah. I just think it's really dope because it's a type of growth that's different than... I mean, it's not that different for Dragon Ball, but I think it was super interesting on Goku's part where he, the path to him getting stronger is not through just pure training, but, he has to, develop mentally.
Yeah.
That's a step in a different direction, and it's cool seeing Vegeta face, I guess, an obstacle and actually train. I guess they may have showed it early in the comic, but I haven't seen this, and I've barely seen it in the show growing up. So this is just really dope. I really like this chapter.
Yeah.
So far. Anyway.
I mean, yeah. One of the things that keeps me hooked on this series and keeps me reading is that when they succeed in pushing Goku and Vegeta further in a competent way. It really works, and it takes Dragon Ball to another level, and it shows potential that Dragon Ball Super can be a worthy continuation.
Yeah.
But in any case, yeah, they get there, they accept the mission, and Beerus gets a call from the heaters afterwards as they're on their way to Planet Cereal, and they basically say, "Oops, we slipped up," and one of our scout troops told Frieza where you are, and he's sending these two assassins over, and they're Saiyans, and Granola's like, Saiyans? I hate them too. And
he really did stutter.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's excited. He might not get Frieza right now, but he's seeing Goku and Vegeta as, a way to test out how strong he really is. So, after that, he flies up out of his ship and he looks into the horizon at his dead home, and he thinks to himself, Saiyans are coming to my planet again. It's 50 years overdue, but revenge will finally be mine. And that's the chapter. I like this a lot more than I thought I would. It was one of the better chapters of Dragon Ball Super. Do you have anything to say, John?
No, well, I thought when he was like, what? About the Saiyans, he was so shook.
Yeah. He was very excited.
But, no, I already said it earlier. I like this chapter because of the training and development shown with two protagonists, and I'm looking forward to this fight. I have no idea what to expect from Mr. Cereal Guy.
Well,
granola. Probably from Granola.
Mr. Cereal Guy. Probably a lot of punches and kicks. Maybe some blasts.
Some blasters. some blasts.
Maybe a Kamehameha.
Maybe some powering up. Now it's time to get serious.
Or Vegeta, it's my turn.
All right.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
All right.
We're positive on this chapter.
No, this shit was lit, and I'm pretty sure that next chapter is gonna be super lit too.
For sure. Brian, do you want to say anything about Dragon Ball Super?
I think I'm starting to warm up to Granola a little bit more. I think.
Yeah, me too.
I think it's cool that they didn't just make him into a villain. They made it into like a whole Baron Zemo Civil War third party thing where he's kind of pitting everybody against each other and shit.
Yeah.
So I think I'm actually looking forward to this. This is a lot more complex of a arc than Dragon Ball usually has. You know what I mean?
I think Dragon Ball
says
Super.
a lot.
Yeah, usually there's not this much thought into it.
Yeah, the leaders are playing their cards well, huh? They are running this game.
They're actually looking like
pulled up to them, pressed them, and they was like bet. And now they're pulling the strings. I don't think, they're good.
Yeah, they're looking like they actually do want to be the best, and that doesn't necessarily mean in brawn, but in like political power and political like movements.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's cool.
Use this little ass nigga.
Yeah.
And then Oil or whatever his fucking name is,
Gas.
the strong guy in the front. Gas.
Oh wait. Which one? Which one are you talking about? The little one that looks like Kid Buu, or
Yeah. Gas. He's like, man, you should let me fight him. He was like, listen, bro, I care about your safety. You would have got your shit washed. He's talking about Buzz. I still think you're strong.
Hey, I'm gonna let you fight Frieza.
All right.
He's okay.
This was good.
Yeah.
The fight. I imagine the fight has some type of strategy. I hope they jump this nigga. I don't want no fair one.
You hope that Jujutsu Kaisen him?
I hope Goku asks Vegeta like for the fair one, and Vegeta's like bet. And as soon as he goes to fight, he just blasts that nigga with the destruction shit.
Yeah.
No fair one, son.
You can't expect too much from Dragon Ball. Like this is, I think we're already getting too much non-Dragon Ball traditional arc right now. There's going to be a part where they're going to disappoint us at some point.
Hey. I'm enjoying it while it is. I'm enjoying it in the now. I'm not looking towards the future. I'm thinking like, this was a good chapter. I'm not thinking about later. If you have no expectations, you can't be disappointed. And even
Uncharted territory, boys.
Even if it does turn out to be a punchy kick fight, I'm okay with that. I'm fine with it. Whatever. It is what it is.
He said if.
Hey, I'm being generous, okay? I'm trying to be more positive. But I think that's all about Dragon Ball Super. You guys ready to randomize?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right. Let's go.
Fuck yeah.
Justice League. This is Justice League number
Justice
60.
League?
Justice
How would you say that in Spanish?
I don't know. Brian, Google
How would you
Translate.
say it in New Yorican?
You could say it. You could say Justice League in Spanish.
How you say
Justice
it
League.
in New York? What about in New Yorican?
Hold on. Let me.
He's got our
Like, you know how they
translators
say
off
the
to the side.
Yankees? Like
Yankees.
New Yorican Yankees, yeah. So how would they?
I don't know.
Alright. You know, it's okay.
We'll wait for
come back
Brian
with
to
that
do
next
his
week.
like his whole thing. He'll come back to us with an answer. But in any case, this is Justice League number 60. Last we left off, there's a new villain from Naomi's world who's just coming by and fucking shit up.
Okay. So
Wombo Wombo.
it's Justicia Liga.
What?
Legal.
Okay.
Justicia Legal.
I feel like that's
Lugal.
wrong.
Lugal or legal? Lugal. They
Okay.
gave me like 3 different fucking names.
I feel like that's wrong, but okay.
Legal.
Legal? It's not Justice Legal.
Justicia Legal.
Okay.
Yeah,
Legal.
All right.
Okay, there you
Well,
go.
thanks,
Like
my
league.
parents.
sports league.
Uh,
Should have said like baseball. That's alright.
yeah, whatever. In any
Yeah.
case, yeah, villain from Naomi's world who's super bantery and got his ass whooped by the Justice League before and retreated very wisely. It's like, oh, fuck.
He's Brian Michael Bendis. Basically, he puts himself in his comics. It's just that usually he makes himself every character, but
this time he doesn't.
he's really just condensing it to one.
Which I'm okay
For
with.
now.
No.
No, that's great. That's when he's at his best, right?
Honestly, yes.
But he's
I'm going to put all my snark into one character.
it's like when this dude does his movies, Shimalaya, M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan?
The name wasn't coming in my head, so I had to see the closest thing to
Yeah.
help me, bridge that gap. Yeah, M. Night he's always in his movie at some point.
Is he? I didn't know. I
Yeah,
haven't
he's
watched
always
a lot
a
of his
character
movies.
in
That's
his
funny.
movie, but it's usually just real subtle.
Yeah, he always ends. Well, he didn't make a cameo in the Avatar movie, unfortunately.
Yes, he
but...
did.
No, he didn't. He wasn't in the
Yes,
Avatar
he
movie.
did.
Who was
No,
he?
he wasn't.
did.
He
was the
wasn't.
fucking-
No, I'm talking.
He was in the.
No, he
Fire
wasn't.
Nation. I'm dead ass.
No,
serious.
no, he wasn't. He
I put
wasn't
that
in
on
it.
Everything.
All right,
Swear
we're gonna
on
have to. Somebody has to confirm it, but
Well,
I'm pretty
you,
sure
Brian, you're the
that
only
he
one
was
with
not
the
in that one.
computer. But let's get into Justice League. Basically, they pull Naomi aside and is like, "Hey, somebody from your world is pulling up, so I need you to come to the Justice League and recap your story for the people who don't know who you are." And she just does that. She meets the entire Justice League, kind of explains, hey, I got superpowers. I come from a planet where my planet was taken over by people with superpowers. I got some of their powers and was sent here. The bad guy that I fought in my own series called S.W.O.R.D, he killed a bunch of other powered people and took over his world. But, and that's basically my story.
Zumbado. That was that nigga's name. Yes. Yes.
Zumbado.
There we go. Zumbado. I said Zabumafu or some shit like that the last time. I was trying to get his name.
Yeah.
That's a show.
Well, Zabumafu?
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
show.
that's
right?
the lemur show. Zabumafu!
Yes.
But, yeah, Aquaman looks over and is like, "Hey, do you recognize this guy?" And she's like, "No. I only been in my planet for like 15 seconds, so I don't know who that is." And the party gets kind of interrupted because Black Canary is like, "Wait a minute, are we just going to really ignore the fact that Black Adam's standing right over there?" And Superman's like, "Relax, he's with me. He's cool. He's cool now." And they all pull Superman aside and they're like, "What is he doing here? He's a bad guy." And Superman's like, "No, he's getting better. And we should actually have him in our league. Because if he's getting better, then we should keep him on the path to being better." And everybody eventually just kind of agrees because, as Green Arrow says, "It's not fair. You're Superman. Anyone who disagrees with you automatically looks vaguely evil or nuts." So, and Superman's like, Superman puts his hand on his shoulder. It's basically like, "Yeah." So yeah, they kind of just like, "All right, let's do it." He's in. But they notice Naomi's trying to get their attention, and it turns out it's because Brutus is back. And meanwhile, in Central City, we cut over to Hippolyta, who just, I guess, finished a battle with him. And everybody's like, Hippolyta, what are you doing here? And they explain that Brutus pulled up on Themyscira 8 minutes ago and fought and beat up a lot of people before Hippolyta showed up, and beat his ass for a while, honestly. Like, she was putting up a fight. And Brutus again is like, this is a problem. I'm not having a good time right now. I'm 0 for 2. I mean, he's like, he's willing to continue fighting Hippolyta, but then he notices that, like, the Justice League are on their way, and he's like, all right, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going back home, and I'm coming back with my friends. So, pretty cool. But, you know, she's basically like, yeah, he's pretty formidable, all that stuff. And that's when she notices that Black Adam's here, and I guess they got beef. Hippolyta's like, oh, hell no, fuck this guy. And she flies away. But Black Adam has no beef with her. He's like, I've always found her to be the most impressive warrior. They known each other for a while. But yeah, at some point they all decide, is like, hey, if Brutus is from your world, then we might have to go to your world. So, you know, can you guide us to where it is? And she's like, I've only been there for a short time. I don't really know how to get there. And it turns out Naomi's from, like, kind of a different dimension, as the Flash reveals, where as they arrive back at the Hall of Justice, and he is reformatting his cosmic treadmill so that a bunch of other Leaguers can stand, you know, right next to it like a moped and just kind of like ride.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, they all have their own.
Green Arrow gets one, and
they're gonna need them. They're gonna need them, Josh. At least Black Canary kind of has powers.
Oh, right.
Black Canary has powers, though.
Yeah, she can yell really loud.
Yeah,
so
sound
my
powers,
girlfriend.
You know?
Does she have superpowers? I guess.
Who? Yeah.
My girl?
Yeah, Black Canary.
Oh, I see you missed the joke. It's okay, though.
No. I didn't hear
You'll catch
it.
it back when you listen to it.
All right. I just didn't hear it. But, yeah, Flash is going to use his cosmic treadmill to basically take everybody to her planet. And, yeah, he gets it going. My favorite part is that Black Adam, like, while this is all happening, he's like, unleash your power! And I'm like, all right, calm down, dude. And it kind of works as the issue ends, where Naomi is sitting in this wasted city, just like destroyed, which might be her planet, because her planet was destroyed. And that's where the issue ends. There's a backstory about Justice League Dark. I didn't read it, but
yeah, neither did I. But I did notice this cool Merlin situation.
What Merlin? Oh, Merlin. Yeah.
Isn't he supposed to be like the big bad?
I don't know if he's a big bad. I don't know that much about DC's magical world, but
nigga, what you know about Ragman?
He's he uses rags. He I don't know.
Yeah, he's thorough, bro.
He's thorough.
Wasn't he in Arrow season 5?
I haven't watched season 5.
There's like I think he's a character in that, right? Hold on, let me see it just to confirm.
I like this.
Ragman.
If it was a good episode and it's a good TV show, Ragman was definitely in it at some point.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I kind of remember Ragman, kind of, sorta, being in that show.
Yeah, he was. He was in a he was on Team Arrow. He's on Team Arrow. Ragman.
Oh, cool.
I remember she was stupid as fuck when I watched it.
Yeah. This issue was alright. I'm enjoying this Justice League. It's Bendis is very subduing himself compared to his Legion of Superheroes, which was like, oh my god. It was like Banter the series, you know, like where it was 32 characters all being funny all at once.
Yes, it was never serious. Yeah. It was always chill.
Yeah. It's like, what's the point of this book? I don't
what's happening here?
Yeah. But I'm glad that he's toning it down for Justice League. The art's still awesome. David Marquez, very cool. Very interested to see where they go with Naomi because she's a Bendis character. So it'd be cool to see her like kind of be explored more. Very into it. You guys ready to move on?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get into it. The next is the X books. We have 3 this week, so let's get through it. This is S.W.O.R.D number 5. We're starting with.
Swixerd.
Wait, what?
If you say it with an X in the middle instead of a O,
No.
it's like Swixerd.
S.W.O.R.D. S.W.O.R.D.
Scored.
S.W.O.R.D.
Scored?
S.W.O.R.D.
Oh my god, we sound crazy. Oh man. I'm gonna have to skip this part.
We start off in S.W.O.R.D with Planet J453, which is...
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Yeah,
one.
you know, very very
that one.
popular, very
Yeah, good old J45.
yeah,
J Dash.
from that Kree storyline, you know, with that Captain Marvel storyline where she went and saved the world
Yeah,
on
man.
Planet J543.
I thought it was Guardians of the Galaxy, but whatever. Same shit.
I mean, you know, they go there too. It's a very frequented place. We start off with Prince Wesel, who is part of this race of aliens that fight each other and try to kill each other in order to find out who's going to be their new king. It's called a Snark War, which, and he's going up to.
I'm sorry. Did I just hear Snork War?
Snark War.
Yes, Snark War.
Have some respect. It's a glorified tradition of these
A
people.
glorified tradition.
Yeah, of the Zernks.
Snark War.
The Snurkst. Znurkst.
Oh my fucking god!
It's apparently
It's
a thing.
essentially a succession battle between half siblings.
They're aliens. They have their own language, Brian. God.
Yeah, this is sophisticated, broski.
Okay, so Prince Wesel shows up, who's one of the participants of the Snark War, and he's talking to the Kree intelligence thing, and he's like, "Yo, help us out! Help me! Help me!" And the Kree intelligence is like, "I'm sorry, we can't do it. I'm sorry. We're supposed to be peaceful now." And yeah, he's doing the most right now. But then all of a sudden, from behind him, an unknown assassin who has been knocking these guys off one by one pulls up behind him and cuts him with this knife, killing Prince Wesel. Man, new soundboard. It's hard to find it. One of these, Prince Wesel. So yeah, after that, we cut over back to Krakoa, where Fabian Cortez is just breaking out of his egg, where he has been resurrected after he was killed in the last issue of S.W.O.R.D. And she's basically like, "All right, no time to get." Hope Summers is there. I think this is Hope. She pulls up and is
It's not
like,
Jean.
"Yeah, it's not Jean." She pulls up and is like, "Hey, the council's expecting you," and he's like, "Can I change?" And she's like, "No." So Cortez goes over to the council, buck naked, and he
Yeah, that's so unnecessary.
and it's
You
not
throw
just
your man's a towel or a sheet.
nothing. He's still covered in yolk. It's real gross. Abigail Brand also pulls up, and Peeper as well. So they all sit around, and they're like, "All right, Fabian Cortez, tell us what you wanted to talk about." Because Fabian Cortez wanted to call a meeting about the second mutant rule. There's certain rules in Krakoa that are like hard laws. You can't break these shits lest you find yourself banished into the core of Krakoa, like Sabretooth was long ago. And at that point, we cut over to Zach Soso.
Why do you keep saying these fucking places?
Nork, fucking Zach Soso. What am I listening to?
I think that's how you pronounce it. Zazozo.
I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? I looked at the word. Yo, there's 3 X's in that shit. Like,
Yo,
come on.
all these planets are named after One
Who
Piece
did
laughs.
this?
I'm sure we're gonna find like a giant or somebody goes Sa so.
Yes.
But we cut over to more of the Zernked children. This is a hard issue to get through, honestly. They're kind of talking about what's been going on. They notice that their brothers and sisters have been getting knocked off one after the other by an unknown assassin.
Nice.
Yeah.
The competition is technically getting knocked off, right?
I mean, one of
But they're
them's
still like, damn, this is kind of wild, though.
well, one of them's concerned about it. The other one's like, whatever, dude. They know what they were signing up for. I don't care. And yeah, he plays this game with this girl, Liga. I think who we've mentioned because she's the one who's supposed to be winning the Snark War currently. And her brother is just out here being shisty as all fuck. You know, talking about like, yo, there's an assassin out there. He's like knocking people off, and she's like, I think we should do away with the Snark War. This is stupid. Why should we like wage full ass wars with each other when we could just settle it 1-on-1? And this alien, her brother, I guess, alien guy, turns his bracelet into a gun, and he's like, ho ho, I got you, bitch. And I'm like, well, I mean, I guess that was her fault. You know, it's like, why would you invite
turning her back on her sibling, huh?
Yeah, I mean, for real. Why'd you invite?
Turning the other way and not looking at him for 3 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't invite anybody who has a vested interest in murdering me onto my ship. Just to
Yeah,
hang
I
out.
thought it was weird. I was like, why aren't they fighting each other? But I think it was said last time that they had an alliance.
Oh, did they?
When your boy was, warping through the universe
Yeah,
and doing
Edith.
cool things. You remember that. That was a couple ago.
Yeah. Meanwhile, back on Krakoa, Fabian Cortez basically brings up the issue of the second mutant rule, which is kill no man. They're not allowed to kill humans.
Nigga called us flat scans. What?
Yeah, he cut his
Eat
weird,
a dick.
his
Cortez.
weird-
Fuck out of here, nigga.
his weird slur for humans is flat scans, which is I guess is.
Fuck is that? Because you don't have an X gene. It's just.
I wonder. No, maybe because the
you
brain.
Cross mother.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna invent a slur.
But basically, it's like, why can't we murder them? And that's basically his whole problem. It's like.
It was dressed up in a lot of fancy jargon and a lot and back and forth with. I mean, it was honestly kind of thought provoking. I also want to mention that during this, I don't know if you really want to break down the convo, Chris, but I do want to mention that while he's trying to make his point about why murdering humans shouldn't be such. I guess you shouldn't it shouldn't just be automatic exile, or I guess should be just at least reviewed or reduced in sentence if nothing else. You know what I'm saying? That it's kind of wild to consider that. Right. And while he's making his case, we see that these snark people, whatever the fuck they're called, chilling on planet Zaku. I'm not
Zazozo.
Listen, they're all dying, bro. They like there's mutants killing like these people. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep that in mind. Like these aliens.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess like that's the whole crux of his argument is like it's best worded in one panel where he's like, why is the highest mutant crime a crime against humans? Like, why is that the biggest one that applies to us? I'm not saying we should go around killing people, but except for me, I should have amnesty whenever I do it. He basically says, but I don't know why we face such hardened consequences when it's not even a crime against us and it doesn't really hurt us. And yeah, like as Josh mentioned, we cut back to planet Zazozo, and the traitorous brother finds a fucking knife straight through his head. And Liga looks over and is like, Condor? And this Amelia Vaught shows up and she's like, nope, not Condor. My name's Amelia Vaught. I'm just transport. I didn't save your life. We're actually here to kill you too, as a Another hand pulls the knife out of the traitorous brother's hands and slits the throat of Liga. And also for the brother.
Easily.
We then cut back over to Cortez, and basically, in so many words, they basically laugh him out of the room. As like, we don't kill people, and that's just how it is.
I mean, Magneto broke it down pretty well in my opinion. Where it was just like, dog, like at the end of the day, we're trying to create something here. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not a matter of just cold, simple logic. We're trying to be better, and we can't. You know what I'm saying? And their part of their vision for being better is saying that, like, no, like, you know, we're not gonna lessen our values because they won't hold themselves to a certain value.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's as simple as that. And it's an obviously made rule because, you know, you've got you got so many mutants with all of these fascinating abilities and powers. Some, you know, super deadly. They can kill humans very easily. And Cortez even makes the point himself that, you know, another big reason for it being such a heinous crime is because they're not resurrecting humans.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I believe that's a completely different topic, you know, on the point of if it's ethical or not, whatever. But nah, man, like you're wilding, bro. Like you're just mad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny because people like brought it out of him. He was like, "Yeah, I figured that. You feel away, bro. You was mad the way you was raised and what you went through, and you're just like, fuck them. Why should we treat them?" That's all your argument reduces down to. Now, I think that there is a different argument. Side note, and that's why I brought up the aliens getting smoked. You know, I guess I'll address that when we finish.
Exactly. And they address it in volume as well. As we cut over to as they're basically disavowing Cortez, that's when he's like, well, whatever, you guys gotta listen to me because I'm important to the future. Without me, you can't get any of your mysterium. And don't think I don't know what that's for. You know, without me, you can't get that shit. So, you know, you will do what I say, basically. And that's when the Amelia and the assassin pulls up. They teleport in, and this person's name is Cora, the Burning Heart, and she is a mutant of Krakoa. Not Krakoa, Araco, sorry. And she's basically there to replace Fabian, as she seems to have the same abilities, right?
I guess, which is to be able to amplify other mutants. That's his specific. He could power up other mutants.
Yeah, we get an informational page on her, but the ones that are very much kind of about her are scattered in a weird way, and I feel like that's intentional.
Yeah.
But yeah, they basically it was her mission to go out and destroy and stop the Snark War as it was happening by killing all of the people who are participating in it, all the princes and princesses that were participating in it. And after they announced that she's basically replacing Fabian, they tell Abigail Brand that, hey, Kuga of the Boa clan is now the new Zernk's empress, because I guess they were stopping the Snark War by killing every one of them but one, and now they have somebody of that alien race that owes a favor to Krakoa. So yeah, now they have like an alliance necessarily with a very powerful space ally, to a degree. And they've stopped
they
the
are
war.
monopolizing space. Bro, Abigail Brand is wilding. She literally manipulated an entire galactic empire.
This is real Nick Fury moves. She's doing
Yeah. She's Nick Fury.
Yeah.
Jonathan Hickman said, move over.
Get out of here, Nick Fury.
My girl got green hair.
Yeah.
What is he talking about? The Knicks won 8 games in a row.
Hell yeah. Okay, so everybody just kind of adjourns the meeting and walks off. And Fabian stands naked and scorned. Meanwhile, on the S.W.O.R.D station, Magneto brings up the point that you did earlier, where he's like, hey, I know we have this rule of kill no man, but why is it weird that we're out here killing aliens? And she's like, is it murder or is it murder in defense of a nation? I mean, what we're doing, we basically stopped a war, by picking a winner. And now that winner can help us out in any capacity. So it's kind of like it's a win-win situation, really, is that we stopped a war and we have somebody on our side. We have allies that are not on this earth. So yeah, Magneto's like, all right, I mean, I'm not all the way opposed, but be careful because you are doing a lot. And Edgelord Brian is like, I don't care. Basically, it's like, it's a fairly blunt way of influencing galactic society, but fortunately for us, we now have something better as we reveal a huge stockpile of the Mysterium.
Oh, yeah, it's all Mysterium?
Yeah, they've just been gathering this shit. I don't know what they're gathering all this shit. Oh, the 64 ounces is here!
Oh, I thought you seen something that I didn't, like.
I don't know. Sorry. I just got distracted by Brian. Come in with that massive bottle.
Listen, dude, I take my hydration very seriously. Okay?
I know. But yeah, there's a lot of Mysterium. I guess this is to power their soul weapon. If you don't know, there's a different version of a soul weapon in every one of Hickman's books, it seems.
Soul weapon?
Yeah, like that harnesses the sun. Chill, Josh. We're getting there. It's next. But yeah, that was S.W.O.R.D. Good issue. S.W.O.R.D. is getting more and more intriguing, I would say. Every time I read it. And this is like the first issue not tied to the King in Black. And now it's coming into its own. Very interested to see where it goes. This is poised to be kind of the book that has the most influence on the Marvel Universe as a whole, I think. But yeah, that's all I got to say about it. You got any words before we go?
Nah, I think there was a point I was going to make at the end about them. I don't know. I thought about it. I thought about what Abigail said about, like, them killing in defense of a nation or whatever. And look, at the end of the day, you can still have values to say that, we're not going to just murder, while also saying, like, look, we need to strategically do what we need to do because this group of beings, of living beings, have no regard for our life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I think they was very aggressive, being manipulative, but at the same time, if it matters, if it's creating peace, I don't know.
I would say it's interesting because
that's a big can of worms. I mean, they're a warlike society, so that means you're asking for it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying that, like, Abigail actually, it's revealed that she has kind of a personal stake in it. I don't know much about Abigail, but she mentioned that her dad was killed in a Snark War. So,
yeah, because of the Snark War.
Yeah. So, it might not be all business.
They moving fast, yo. They moving fast.
Yeah,
bro.
S.W.O.R.D's
manipulating
aggressive.
empires, collecting that Mysterium.
Yeah, for sure.
Shit's accelerating, bro. Am I reading My Hero Academia?
We'll get to that. But first, we got to move on to Way of X #1. I take it this is your VGI, Josh? Seeing as how excited you were for it.
Way.
Certified VGI.
Of X.
Way of X. Yeah, this
Way.
is...
Of X.
Okay.
Can I get one of those?
A Way of X?
No, it's just you do the wave during the way.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Way. Of X.
Of X. Yeah, thanks, Brian. Thanks for joining in. You're right, bro. He's just insecure because he still hasn't held his end of the bargain with the X books. It's okay, though.
He'll get
I'm going to
there.
put you on blast because I'm caught all the way up to solo leveling, bro. And I can't even talk about it because you don't care about X-Men, bro.
Well,
it's okay, though. This book, Nightcrawler, is about to show you the way.
It is pretty good.
You'll see.
We start off with Xavier waking up from a nightmare, and Xavier doesn't have those anymore. all he sees is this weird, like, scary-looking dude in a mask going, "Betrayer." And at that moment, that's when he calls Nightcrawler. But Nightcrawler's busy at the moment. Him and a couple of young X-Men are going out to the Venice insertion, which is this mission that are going on. And they talk for a minute, so Xavier could have a little bit of a friend to talk about, kind of, sort of, because he's just been having these nightmares. And eventually they kind of hang up the phone. We see these young X-Men kind of talking about the resurrection process and how Pixie has not died yet. So they're all just like, it's whatever. You just haven't had your first time yet, but you'll get it soon. And Pixie's like, I don't want to die. And it's like, it's fine. It's no big deal. Jeez. We beat death. We resurrect now. We can't die, really. And they mentioned someone called the Patchwork Man in their discussion, and Nightcrawler's like, "Who's the Patchwork Man?" But it's cut short because they're working on their mission. And it turns out this church that they're infiltrating is actually an Orcus organization thing, where after studies in geopolitical trends, they've decided to branch out and not just like scientific stuff. But also, research and development, operations based. There's a culture and narrative section, which is what I guess they're taking down now, and an unknown sixth thing, completely blacked out. We don't know what that means.
Yeah.
But anyway, they fight these Orcus goons. Pixie takes out most of them using her powers, and one of them pulls up with a shotgun and is like, you know what might change their mind and get them to act straight. And she approaches one dude's shotgun, like who has his shotgun drawn, and he blows her fucking head off. I guess like her tactic was like, I'm going to let this guy blow my fucking head off and possibly traumatize him into never being a hateful bastard again. And Nightcrawler's like, no, kicks the shit out of this guy, goes, Schwein. And
what does that mean? Like a pig?
I would think so. I don't know what Schwein means, but I imagine it's not a nice thing to say. But yeah, he's really bummed out. He's like, oh fuck, she's dead, and everybody's like, relax, Nightcrawler. She's gonna be fine. And besides,
she's come back.
Her plan worked. Everybody's just like fucking bummed out now, and they probably will never preach against anyone now. And as they all teleport back home, Nightcrawler kind of just is sulking for a minute, but then he notices a big old statue. And the next day on Krakoa, Nightcrawler summons Magneto and gives him this little prank where they take one of the statues that these guys put up in order to commemorate the evil things that all mutants have done, apparently under their name. They pull out this old statue of Magneto from the time he launched a bunch of fucking missiles in the first issue of X-Men.
Look at his helmet.
Yeah.
So extra.
And Magneto's not happy. He's like, a jape. How quaint.
What's a jape?
I guess a joke.
Oh, all right.
And he takes it kind of seriously, where he's like, well, whatever, man. You know what? And if anything, this thing is actually very important because it teaches us how far we've come. We used to be down each other's throats, and now we are united, fighting a common enemy. And Nightcrawler's just like in the background, like, all right, chill. I didn't mean anything like that. And he takes the moment to just kind of like indoctrinate these kids, basically. And Nightcrawler confronts him about it afterwards. And it turns out that, as they're arguing, they come across the subject of the Crucible, which is something that Nightcrawler has a fucking problem with, which we discussed. Yeah, we've discussed this on a couple of times on the pod, but the Crucible is basically a ritual in which mutants that lost their powers during the decimation and were taken by Scarlet Witch get a chance to fight for the right to become a mutant again. die in combat as a rite of passage and be resurrected with their powers intact. Nightcrawler's not cool with it because basically his whole deal is that like we're taking this resurrection shit for granted.
Yeah.
We're seeing all these kids just like use their deaths as weapons to a degree, and we're not really valuing life. Even though like, and this is the big crux of this issue in Nightcrawler's struggle is that he's like, I know that we can cheat death, and there's nothing really that there is cause to not be so careful or not value life because we for real can just always come back. But yeah, he just has like this internal conflict where he can't seem to accept it. Yeah, we cut over to later in the night. Nightcrawler's just chilling on a fucking tree branch as he's listening to Exodus. I guess every time there's a crucible, Exodus gathers these kids and tells the story of how the crucible fucking rules, because he's done this before.
Definitely indoctrination.
You know, and he mentions one of the kids mentions the Patchwork Man to him, and when he's like, "Do you know who the Great Pretender is?" and they're like, "Is it the Patchwork Man?" And he's like, no. It's the Scarlet Witch. She cast a foul spell to devour our kind. And he asks, like, who's this Patchwork Man? At that point, Nightcrawler notices somebody skulking in the woods, and it turns out to be Dr. Nemesis, who is kind of like the head of the science corps in
kind of like the only person in the science corps.
Yeah.
Based on his information base.
Oh, yeah. He's part of everything. He's the director of physical, life sciences, sentient irrationality, and formal exact sciences. And I didn't know this, and I don't know if they mentioned this before, but he's also the guy who makes the Krakoan drugs that they sell, to other nations, and they use as a
That's word to the mushrooms on his head.
Yeah, yeah, he's got mushrooms on his head, 'cause science apparently.
He just takes them off, and he's like, "Yeah, you want one of these, bro?
Yo, this
It'll
psychopathic.
get you high.
Get you real high.
It'll get you clapped."
Yeah, Professor Mushroom Head is like, oh yeah, let's get buzzed.
Let's do it. Why do you think I grew these off my fucking dome top? Anyway.
Yeah, they go to the Crucible where Magneto's in the middle of killing this lady.
This is horrible to watch.
It is rough, and the art makes it like especially, like kind of brutal, as Magneto's just throwing shrapnel at her, and just be like, "Get up, child! Tell me your name." And this girl keeps saying it. She's like, "I'm lost. I'm lost," and that's, I guess, her mutant name. But yeah, I mean, part of the Crucible is that it's about proving yourself to be like a mutant ride or die, essentially. And you got to fight, and you got to die honorably in order to get your powers back, or to be seen worthy of getting your powers back. And as like Magneto is just like prolonging it, Nightcrawler just can't take it anymore, and just full on tackles Magneto. And he's like, "Fucking stop! She's not a fighter. All you're doing is hurting her." And the mutant makes it known that her name is Lost. She's like standing up and dying honorably. It's meant to be seen as like she's gonna take the leap. And Magneto's like, "Yes, I see you, Sister Lost. Today you are lesser. Today you do not belong. But oh, you are a fighter." And then he turns his shrapnel into a sword and kills Lost. And he mentions to Nightcrawler nothing hurts more than a life of submission. As he walks away from the battlefield. And Nightcrawler is kind of bummed out by the cheers of everybody as they watch someone die, essentially. The next morning, Lost is resurrected with her powers back, and she is a long lady. She is just like floating.
She is a long lady. Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
She's like floating.
Like, oh. Her powers are gravitational neutrality, which means that like I guess the reason that she was so hunched over and kind of folded in on herself is because without her powers, her body functions in a really shitty way. But in any case, she's back, and she's got her powers back, and she's way better than she was before. And she makes everyone throw up because her gravitational pull just kind of like disturbs inner ear balance and makes everybody dizzy, and everybody in the place except for Nightcrawler starts throwing up. Even Xavier, as she runs away, and and Kurt's like, "Don't go," and he's holding it back vomit, just like, "Leave her alone, Kurt. She wants to be alone." But yeah, Pixie is also resurrected, and he's just Nightcrawler's like, "I can't put my finger on it." He expresses to Xavier, like, "I can't put my finger on it, but something's wrong here with this resurrection shit." And they have like kind of a discussion of it, and Xavier's like, "Well, I'm not going to say that you're wrong. I think there might be something to what you're saying. I heard you're trying to start a mutant religion, and that's kind of what Kurt has been slowly doing, but he hasn't found a way how."
Yeah, there was an informational page where he kind of came to the conclusion that he definitely wasn't going to introduce any kind of formal religion to Krakoa, seeing as most of these people are psychopaths and or atheists.
Yeah.
Psychopaths or atheists. So that probably wasn't going to work out, and he had to kind of he did essentially give up on the idea, but that feeling he had, that uneasiness still with him, which is what's he's kind of going through right now.
Yeah, I think like he sees it as like, we need some, not necessarily a religion, but some sort of philosophical backbone, foundation, in a way, because we're just kind of like devaluing ourselves or our lives because we can beat death. We don't really hold value to things that are important anymore, and we need some kind of like a philosophical backbone so we don't become just kind of like these valueless creatures, it seems. That's what I feel like I'm getting out of it.
He uses the word cheap death, and I felt like that was really effective because it just means to like you're not valuing yourself. Yes, you can be resurrected, but your life is still precious, and you never know what happened.
Yeah,
I'm still like, I would be like, "Oh, sick, I got resurrected, nice," but it's not like bro, anything can happen, bro. We live like they live in Earth 616. Shit pops off all the time. They almost lost it all because of a fucking symbiote invasion.
Yeah.
Noah was one of the realest niggas ever, son.
For real.
And he just pulled up out of nowhere because Brock got that nigga upset.
Yeah, for real.
I'm not trusting nothing. Come on, man. Kurt needs to make them realize that.
Yeah, and that's basically, Charles is like, I mean, I want you to try doing that. I want you to kind of like build these principles for us. And then they go on to the subject of what's known as the Patchwork Man. And Xavier's like, yeah, he's been visiting me in my dreams, and I think I have a feeling I know who it is. So, I want to send you out after this person. And if I'm not, and Nightcrawler's like, why me specifically? Why not Scott or Jean or anyone? And he's like, well, because Kurt, you're a good guy. You really understand people on a level that a lot of people here don't. And even Nightcrawler is visited by the Patchwork Man, as Xavier is explaining this.
Patchwork.
We then pull up on the cemetery. I don't know how or why he's here necessarily, but Nightcrawler pulls up to the cemetery, and he goes up to Blindfold's grave. And there's a voice that comes out of nowhere, is like, a tragedy, eh? And he starts like talking to Kurt about, I guess that's why Dad sent you. Dad was never one for empathizing, not when he had you lick Spittles do it for him. He says,
he's salty.
He said, "I'm sorry, Kurt. You don't deserve to get caught up in this, but you are one of the kindly ones. But you are too late." And it turns out that the Patchwork Man is Legion.
So why don't you give the reader, our listeners, and Josh, just a quick rundown of your boy Legion. What's his deal, bro?
I'm gonna throw it to Brian because I actually don't know that much about Legion.
I only really know Legion from the Legion show that I watched. That was on HBO, and it was kind of cool. It essentially Legion is Professor Xavier's son, and he's like, essentially he's a fucking Omega level mutant. He's just that fucking strong. Like he can alter reality. But the thing is that he can like alter reality. He's that good. He's a very powerful telepath. On top of that, he's just really fucking strong. And but the thing about him is that he's kind of not all there mentally. Like or at least that's how it was in the show, where he was like infested by the Night King or whatever his name is. Like the Night King was kind of like a parasite in his head, causing him to have like multiple personalities, which is why he's called Legion. Because
because he has many different people in it.
He has many different identities. So he's many different people inside of one person. Yes. So yeah, that's all I really know about him from based off of that. He was pretty fucking strong from everything I've seen him do.
Reality warper.
Well,
he's really fucking strong.
Wow.
Here's the list
He
of
can
powers
fly.
I found. He's an Omega level mutant, telepath, telekinesis, pyrokinesis, which means he can summon fire.
Yeah, fire.
Chronokinesis, which is control of time. Shapeshifting, teleportation, superhuman strength, sonic blasts, flight. Prehensile.
Flight 2.
Prehensile tongue. X-ray vision, superhuman speed, interdimensional travel, interstellar travel, emotional manipulation, pain transference, healing factor, omniscience, and psychic possessions. yeah. By the way, he's omniscient.
Like I said.
So he is God, essentially.
He's very powerful.
He's really strong.
Okay.
And the
He's
show
the one that Kurt's been praying to.
Yeah, and the show, the HBO show, did not hold back on these abilities at all. He's just as powerful in the show as it is in the comics.
I would imagine he has all of these abilities because he's a reality warper, and he can just probably give himself whatever he wants or something.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we're gonna learn about him.
Assume that, but he has like a limit outside of himself.
Hey, I mean,
okay.
I'll say
Whatever.
this: they don't.
We're gonna find out about this guy.
They don't pull his card that often. I don't think he shows up that much. They only really show him up when they're like, okay, it's time to really pull out Legion as a thing. I'm excited. I don't know much about Legion. I'm excited to learn about him. If you guys want to comment and tell us who Legion is, go for it. I'd love to read a little summary, so to speak. But good issue. I really liked Way of X a lot. I think it's interesting. Every book of X-Men seems to focus on a particular facet of society to a degree. And this one's about religion, which is interesting. And who better to do it than Nightcrawler? Honestly, one of my favorite mutants. So I'm pretty excited for it.
Yeah, and it looks like it's not going to just be about Kurt's Catholicism. It's going to be about what is religion, how did people come to this, or how was it given to them? Oh, whatever. I'm not going to go there, but it's going to be super interesting. Very, I don't know. I didn't know what to think when I heard they was releasing a book called Way of X, and it was going to be about Kurt finding his religion. Like at first, I had no idea what to expect. I wasn't thinking about anything bad, but I also wasn't like, oh, this is going to be good. I did have a sense of hype to it. The same sense of hype when I looked at the title for Children of the Atom, where I felt like, I don't know, like this one seems like it's big.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
It's interesting as hell, though. And, it's an X book, so we're going to follow it.
Very much agreed. We follow all of them. We do it so you don't have to. I expect appreciation.
We sacrifice ourselves for your sins.
Yeah, yeah. But moving
Way of
onward,
X.
I guess we should get on with our last X book. It is X-Force. Kind of basic. Last we left off, Quentin Quire has been, and a bunch of X-Men are actually getting attacked by a Xeno construction of Quentin Quire with all of his powers attached. I guess like Xenos using their own biology against them. And this one is Quentin's little demon monster thing. Quentin passed out and ended up in the Xeno laboratory where he's fighting against his weird, scary zombie version of himself. And he's currently just trying to survive this thing as Jean Grey finally shows up and saves him, pulls him out of it. And he ends up on Krakoa, wakes up there, his mind is back to normal. And the scratch he endures a scratch from this Quentin Quire person, and it's still on his back. Like what happened in his mind kind of stays there.
Yeah. Ooh, the scratch. Yikes.
Yeah. So, Quentin actually wastes no time. He's like, you know what? We're going to fucking take care of this now because I know where they are. And he takes Jean Grey over to the point, and they basically kind of track down where their warehouse is. And it looks like it's in Greenland, I guess. But yeah, so they decide to go there, I guess, like mentally try to they take Quentin and Esme, I think her name is Esme, one of the cuckoos, over to this dreamscape place to try and draw out the monster, while Jean Grey and Domino go over to the facility itself and try to take down the host. Pretty simple enough. Quentin sees it as a race. Is like, you're probably gonna see who, if you can kill the host, or I can kill the monster first. Either way, they enter this dreamscape, and the fight continues. Esme actually gets taken out of the battle a little early because the possessed Black Tom pulls up to the point and awakens Esme. So they're a little distracted there. Leaving Quentin to take on this monster version of him alone. Quentin has already had the sufficient character development to fight against it, and he ends up killing the Quentin Quire monster thing before Jean Grey can even
put the cannon to his motherfucking head.
Yeah.
And they caught it too.
Yeah.
Ew, look at it. Oh, that's his fucking corpse.
Yeah.
That they took.
It's really just sitting there. Yeah.
It's alive still, technically.
Well, it's dead now.
Using it, right?
Now that Quentin Quire shot it in the face. But yeah, now they'll have to be a little more proactive in order to stop Xeno from using their own biology against them. But that's where the issue ends. I'm happy about it. A little bit of character development for Quentin Quire. He's a favorite of mine as well, so I'm glad to see him move on a little forward in the world. I don't really have much to say about it though. This is an okay arc. I appreciated it, but it wasn't like something wild for me to write home about. It was perfectly fine.
Are they carrying a casket in the next issue?
I can't really tell. There's not like enough in the. I don't think it's a casket. Where do you see a casket? I don't think that's a casket. I think it's an. Oh no! I think this is the gala.
Oh yeah.
I think the gala's coming
soon. The gala's coming, man.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all I got to say about X-Men. You ready to roll, boys?
Yes.
It's time to randomize.
Brady Cross.
Boruto.
Next generation.
Boruto, Naruto, Next Generations. This is number 57. Ada. Last we left off, Code and his belts of doom.
Oh, this one.
Yeah, it's very timely.
Oh, yeah.
I guess, considering.
All right. You know what? I'm going to grab me some water, but you go ahead, Chris. Come on, Coco. You need to get up.
Okay, so basically,
Okay.
last we left off with Boruto. Code has went back to this secret hideout that Boro has been keeping, and has is aiming to free this girl named Ada, who is said to have known all. This guy, I think his name is Bug, basically is like, don't free her because you don't know her powers. Her powers are stronger. You can't use brute force to make her obey you. And Code's like, man, fuck that. And he cuts.
He said, nigga, I'll just kill her. She don't listen to me. What? I don't care. What?
Yeah.
I'm dumb, nigga.
Yeah. He blasts the door open, and that allows Ada to walk out.
Legs.
The high heels, because that's practical.
High heel plus legs.
Yeah.
That's why this artist got chosen. It was like, yeah, you're gonna make it in this industry because of legs.
Legs.
I don't agree, but apparently enough people did at Shonen Jump.
Yeah. So Ada's out, and we cut over to a Zoom call. Sorry, it's current days. Who uses Skype anymore? A Zoom call between the Gokage. I guess they don't even meet up anymore. They just kind of chill in the computer.
Yo, right? They gypped us. Thing is, literally had just a fucking a conference call instead of an actual.
They had this podcast.
Gokage summit. Bro, yo, they jerked us. He said we're gonna have to have a Gokage summit. Nigga, we was like, yo.
Yeah.
L.
Well, to be fair,
No.
Wait. Listen to what I'm gonna say. Jesus Christ. I was gonna say, if they had Zoom calls back in the day, Sasuke attacking the Hokage summit doesn't happen. So,
I guess that's
It's
fair.
right.
What happens is he goes to assassinate them one by one so they can't support each other.
nah.
But look, you're right. They ain't had the technology back then, but it would have been nice.
Hey, maybe they're in quarantine as well. They're just like, we're not meeting in person.
Maybe they will eventually meet up, and then this dude will come there.
Yeah. I mean, they're basically talking
What's
about
his
Code.
name? Belt leather. What's his
Belt
name?
Leatherman?
Code.
Yeah. I mean, in any case, that's all they really only talk about Code. A lot of kind of information we already know, for the most part. They talk about how they have Amato, and they trust Amato, kind of, sorta. They don't 100% trust him, but he seems to have come through with everything so far, so why not? And it ends with Gaara being like, all right, so the Kara holdout is a problem too, but frankly, this is the biggest problem. If Momoshiki or Boruto himself were to become an Ishiki level threat, I'm sorry to be harsh, but would you be able to take down your own son? And Naruto's like, I'll do what I gotta do. I mean, we'll see. I guess. But yeah. We cut back over to Amato, who's like rustling through some lockers. And he kind of has like a little bit of a heart-to-heart with Amato, where Naruto's like, man, I just can't believe it that my son will become a completely different person, and an Otsutsuki no less. Amato's like, hey man, I get it. I used to have a daughter. I wonder who that is.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
Not think about that.
And he says she died though. It's been 12 years already, so And Naruto's like, damn, sorry, bruh. And then he pulls out a little vial with these tiny pills, and he's like, hey, so this is a drug I crafted with the aim of weakening the Byakugan's power.
Totes not sketch.
Not sketch at all. I promise, bro. The whole thing, the Otsutsuki gain powers from the Byakugan, so this might have an effect. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend it though. I wouldn't just like go for it first try, because there's side effects. Decreased vision would be bad enough, but he could die if he takes these. And basically he's like, I mean, it's a Band-Aid more than a solution, So I'll say that it's supposed to stop the progression of Otsutsuki-fication temporarily. And Naruto's like, all right, thanks. And he walks off. Meanwhile, back with Code, Ada gets out of her pod and is she just saunters out, and Code is like, hey, I'm Code. As she just like immediately ignores him and walks past him, Code uses his weird belt jutsu to like make one of his weird claws come out of her chest, and he's like, stop right there. I'll dispose of you if you don't fucking concern yourself with me. And
when does the belt appear?
I think the belt just crawls on people.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whatever. I'm not gonna harp on it again.
Yeah, neither am I.
Been there, done that.
It's fair. Yeah, and she basically likes, all right, go for it, try. Oh, geez. Brian just phased out. Sorry, his computer crashed. But in any case, yeah, basically, Code can't do anything about it. He's pretty much just stuck in place. Bug is like, what? And yeah, it has something to do with her powers, as we later learn. Welcome back, Brian. In any case, she has the ability to kind of infatuate people and steal people's hearts. So, immediately she makes them go on her side, I guess, is what her powers are. You can't hurt her because she just makes you fall in love with her. So, yeah, Code is, I guess, in love with her artificially. And
yo, a nigga says, hey, Bow, you think she's interested in me? Nigga said, don't be stupid. This guy doesn't care about his life at all.
Not at all.
Dragging me into this mess.
Damn it. How dare you? But yeah, it's really funny. Code asks her, hey, anything special, anything going on? And she's basically like, oh, let's see. Otsutsuki dying? And she's like, whoa, how'd you know about that? And he's like, it made me laugh. It was pretty pathetic. And I'm like, damn.
Dang, that's Code's daddy right there you talking about.
Yeah.
You better relax before he smack the shit out of you. Shorty. No, he's gonna spank you.
It's funny because like she explains her powers, and her powers are basically she can kind of see into the past. She can't see into the future, but she can see any event from the past in real time. Oh wait, no. Oh yeah, she can see the past, or she can see current events in real time. It's kind of not that detailed as far as that goes, I guess. She can't see anything that happened before her birth, so I guess like 12 years ago she can't look back at that. She reveals that like Amato's the only one who can release his limiters, so you either have to go get Amato and force him to cooperate, or rip out his eyes and use his eyes to release the limiters himself, because part of the limiters is iris recognition and a voice print command code. Oh geez, Brian's gone again. In any case, yeah, that's basically as far as it goes. This is what bothers me, because we start to get into the what's it called, the motivations of Ada, and I think this is what Josh was talking about earlier as well, is she has the ability to kind of make anybody fall in love with her, and her grudge against Amato is that she's like, he took away my ability to have a real relationship. And the only person who wouldn't be affected by her are Otsutsuki and blood relatives. And seeing as how Kawaki is technically an Otsutsuki because he had karma in him, and so is Boruto, both of them are candidates to be her boyfriend, essentially. And that's her goal. She wants...
Wait. Wouldn't that mean that fucking what's his name? Shit. Code shouldn't be affected by her either because he has a karma in him, or
It's
is
not
it
a real
because
karma.
there wasn't? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was just a rejection.
Yeah, he's not like an Otsutsuki because he doesn't have like Ishiki's power within him, really. So yeah, that's our goal. Is like they kind of team up and is like, hey, you can take Boruto and I'll take Kawaki, and Kawaki will be my boyfriend. And they build an alliance, and that's how kind of the chapter ends. I mean,
they put the leather on Bug's face. That was funny.
Yeah, it's
thinking they was gonna kill him. I feel so bad for him.
This is kind of a timely thing because Josh and I both watched a video by a YouTuber known as Sage's Reign about how Naruto treats his female characters.
Oh.
I thought that's what you were referring to.
Thinking about it from that lens, but you know what? Yeah.
So the topic is fresh on our mind, and if you should check out Sage's Reign's video. He's a really good YouTuber. He's a very good essayist on this kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, and it's especially timely because like Kishimoto's writing this series now, so it's basically got like his fingerprints all over it. It sucks that like a lot of this continues the tradition of female characters in Naruto having their entire character arcs be very dependent on another male character.
But what about Sarada, the secondary main
Sarada is the only hope. That's why Sarada is so great, is that she's the only one left.
She has to redeem Sakura, the worst
She's basically
character in fiction.
She's basically carrying the weight of all of the female characters in Naruto by not having a character arc based around another guy. And maybe 10-10, I don't know. Maybe.
But they don't have a show. So.
Yeah. This chapter's fine. It is a lot of exposition and trying to meet Ada. It's kind of hard to do these kind of chapters when you have a monthly series because it is a lot of pages of exposition where I feel like in a weekly chapter this would probably be wrapped up a lot sooner. So it's a little tedious to read when it's however many pages, 30, 40 pages of this, where it is just kind of like explaining a lot of shit. And Code's not particularly like compelling yet as a villain, and neither, definitely Ada's not. I really don't like that direction.
Anyway. It's weird because like I feel like Boruto had decent momentum, and even last chapter, even though I cracked mad jokes.
I mean, we all did, but
Code.
we've been liking Boruto.
We did. It was still okay, but this is just like
it's sour.
I don't know if
it doesn't ruin it.
It just it's sour, but man, like there's sometimes I read comics, and when I just really don't give a fuck about what's going on, or I feel like the certain conversations between characters is just real bland. It just feels like when I'm reading, it just feels like I have this plain taste. You ever had unsweetened yogurt before?
Yeah.
Plain unsweetened yogurt.
Plain Greek yogurt?
Fucking gross. And it's just that that's that taste I get in my mouth. And while Code and her were having like this whole conversation, and even after they'll go Kage something, I was just plain yogurt. Plain yogurt this whole time. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
I mean, it doesn't ruin Boruto for us, I guess.
No, it doesn't ruin it. It was just like more of that shit that I didn't care about.
And that's
I don't really care about code that much myself, but I'm more interested in like, what's her name?
Ada?
Ada a little bit more, just because of this theory that I have in my head.
She's Amato's daughter.
Yeah,
You know,
and that
the
he made her
obvious-
this way so that she'll always feel loved and shit like that, which is kind of cool, I guess. It's
I guess.
interesting.
Yeah, I mean, she's for sure Amato. I mean, we're not right a lot on this show, but I would bet almost my life on Ada being Amato's daughter. And that's
You
cool.
gotta start recording down these call outs.
Yeah, I mean, Brian, can you keep a tally on how many times we're right and wrong?
No worries.
Correct.
I got you guys.
Correct
PDF.
predictions.
Don't worry. You're right. We're right all the time.
We're wrong a lot.
We're right all the time, audience. All right? Never doubt us.
I'll say this. It was, I'm not thrilled about this chapter. It doesn't mean we're not thrilled about Boruto. I feel like month to month, it's kind of hard to, we read these as they come out. So we only judge them as the series
I think
continues.
we're about to get a nice little training arc anyway.
I would like
I
that.
think they're just doing some background stuff for these characters just so we can know that they're out there. And
Yeah.
what their motives are, kind of. And maybe they'll just move along.
I would like that.
I'm
honestly.
not worried. I'm not worried at all.
Yeah, I mean, like, as long as they don't fucking harp on this, as if, like, the next chapter, she's just like, no, I really want a boyfriend. And we just cut over to Kawaki and Boruto training. I'd be way okay with that. I'm good with compartmentalizing this whole thing. But that's all I got to say about Boruto. Oh, it's all right. Nothing fantastic. You guys ready to move onward? Then let's randomize.
The champ is here!
My Hero Academia. Brian's suffering with allergies, it looks like.
Oh, allergies are fucking killing me, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, this is My Hero Academia, chapter 309. Can't be a child anymore. Yeah, last we left off.
Anybody's RGC?
I mean, I was going to save till later, but it is mine.
RGC.
RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
This one's for Brian.
Certified RGC.
How about you, Josh? How do you-
Oh, no.
What was yours?
What's left?
Are we miss? Wow. All right. Really? Okay.
And actually, I voted for it, too.
Okay.
That's how I knew Black Clover definitely was winning. I was like, oh.
Ooh, handily too, 50-something%.
Yeah.
But in any case, this is My Hero Academia. Last we left off, Midoriya stomped Jailbreaker / Muscular.
Essentially, yeah.
And he's now flying off, into the sky. He's got him in hand in the Black Whip while flying. How far our boy has come. Meanwhile, a couple of students from Ketsubutsu Academy look up into the sky and they're like, yo, look at that guy. It's Jailbreaker. He got him. Ketsubutsu. And yeah, we get a little scene that shows that Yo kind of remembers him. And he's like, whoa, this kid's got a different vibe. Midoriya arrives at the police station completely in smokescreen, and he's like, I got Jailbreaker. Don't shoot. I'm out. Drops off Jailbreaker, leaves. And Midoriya flies off. He says he calls someone on the phone, and he says, he calls All Might. He says, I'm headed back. And All Might's out here rocking the shades and the fucking leather jacket, looking fresh as hell with his denim jeans. As Deku just lands beside him, and he's like, hey, are you all right? Are you okay? How are your arms and legs? He's like, I'm doing all right. Thanks to these things, these mid-gauntlets compression support items you ordered from America before trades trade border shut down. I'm doing okay. And these mid gauntlets are kind of like a reference to the first My Hero Academia movie where he uses these bands, although it's no confirmed connection between the two. These seem to be actually weaker versions of the ones that are in the movie, but they look exactly like them, which is kind of cool. A little shout out. But yeah, they're basically made to hold Midoriya's arms together so he could use the Power Stalker quirk to its fullest without breaking his arms like he used to. He gets a call, and it turns out that Hawks is also in the city, and so is Best Jeanist and Endeavor, and they're just fighting villains as well. Midoriya flies off, and All Might's like, "Damn it, he left again." And Hawks is like, "Actually, this is probably a good thing. You know, one line of thinking would be to keep him isolated is the best way to prepare him for what's coming. You know, because if he's less prepared than the villains that he faces off against, it's all over anyway." And we cut over back in time to, you know, explain how Deku ended up in this situation. After his recovery, and his mom's is in the picture again, the doctor explains, like, "Hey, so I heard you've been warned that these abilities can tear your body apart, but you know what? It's gotten a little better. You were still injured, but not nearly as bad as before because he's at 45% capacity in terms of how much of the Power Stalker technique he can use. Yeah, a little bit of progression."
Makes sense. Yeah, it made sense. I think it was a clever way to kind of just say, yeah, dude, I don't gotta worry about his broken arms no more. It's not really a thing.
Well, not as bad as before. His body's
Sure.
stronger, so he can handle it a little more.
I mean, I thought his arms and legs were gonna be jello,
Yeah, but
or like maybe he had rope. It was some type of quirk he was gonna be able to use his arms and legs with.
Yeah.
I don't know, but they did this instead, which was cool. It was a much straightforward. He's good.
yeah.
Got gauntlets. Don't worry, he'll be alright.
Midoriya's mom asks for an explanation, and All Might seems to explain the whole fucking thing to her. And she asks, "What's going to happen to him?" And All Might's like, "Hey, he'll be fine. We're making arrangements to keep him protected at UA." And that's when Midoriya says, "I'm not going back to UA because Shigaraki has the ability to locate him." And after everybody got fucking smacked before, he's not prepared to see anybody else get hurt. So, you know, he thinks the better option would be to attack them before they get to full strength. So, you know, he's gonna build up his strength a little faster, and, you know, intercept Shigaraki before he can gain full power himself. And we get this little moment. I mean, whenever Midoriya's mom is in a thing, it's always just like, fuck, my heart. Where, you know, she calls back to the time where, you know, she's playing with young Midoriya in his little All Might costume. And it cuts to the present where now Midoriya's hugging her and be like, "I have to go, but that's okay. I'll come back home to you." And I'm like, Midoriya's mom! Ah! Makes me cry almost every time. And All Might starts feeling bad because he remembers the time where he said that he would look after him a while back. And All Might's like, "I know I can't stop you from going, but I'm coming too, whether you like it or not." And Best Jeanist and Hawks and Endeavor learn about Midoriya's intentions, and they're like, "I guess that's okay. I mean, you know, we were going to make him the focal point of our efforts anyway. So, you know, he can do what he wants, and we'll just be around to, like, make sure it doesn't get too crazy." And we get this final scene where I guess Midoriya tells Gran Torino about how Nana Shimura was crying about, like, what happened with Shigaraki and all that stuff. And he apologizes for not making the kill. And he says, "Don't be so rigid. Killing can be another way to save someone." As Midoriya takes the sash, I guess, for lack of a better word, from this guy from Gran Torino, and we learned that there's a team up now, with the final splash page being of Midoriya teaming up with the top 3 and All Might. And that's where the chapter ends. Sheesh. A lot to unpack. We had our concerns, I guess. Fair to say. But I feel like this did a lot to alleviate my own kind of gripes. I don't think my whole assumption was that Midoriya went off rogue and he's doing this all on his own. But you know, it's good that he has a support system, and this is way more organized than we thought it was initially. Yeah. And more importantly, that Midoriya doesn't seem to have like been that changed in terms of a disposition. You know, he's using his head and is like, look, this is the only way I can keep my friends from getting killed. So I appreciate that a lot. And
which, to be fair, I called it.
You didn't call it exactly like this.
I said that he was growing. He was growing, and he was only doing this because he didn't want people to fucking get rolled by
No, that's the
Shigaraki.
only thing you said, was that he's doing it to protect the others. Now, all right, I think I'm gonna tell you this. I think the chapter did help make the point that, like, look, it's not gonna help if he just stays sheltered at UA and doesn't get out there and, you know, just really experience his abilities and such. And then I guess I feel like the safety part of it is honestly secondary. I mean, they said it like they're proactively out there searching for these guys so that, you know, they have less time to prepare for their big move and their big attack. That's the point of this whole super duper cool team up that's about to happen, I guess, and why they're already going to find the villains, you know, so.
Exactly. I mean, it is about keeping people safe, but it is more about, like, in order to keep them safe, we have to act first. We have to act before they can.
I think that makes sense. And just because they're about to act first doesn't mean that the series is about to end next chapter. You know what I'm saying? So
I'll say this.
as long as that's the case.
I've been reading back My Hero. I own every volume, so I've just been like slowly, you know, reading it from the very beginning because I've always wanted to see how it kind of flows. One thing, reading this chapter and then reading, like, I'm up to the first time Bakugo and Deku fought in like that little building where they were doing their little test. And it is pretty cool. This chapter is called Can't Be a Child Anymore. It kind of struck me how much Midoriya was so different in a way where he was so scared and he was going for it and going for his dream and doing all this stuff, but he was so scared in the meantime and he was constantly crying and nervous. And now he's like, it's time to be fucking grab my nuts, be a big boy and take care of business. And that's as focused as My Hero Academia it is, as at least the focus is, it pays off in terms of Midoriya's character, because I think this has just been a great main character progression over 300 chapters, and it's very natural how braver he becomes and how more confident he becomes over time. I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's a very underrated thing that not a lot of people see, is how much Midoriya is a different person from when the series started. But yeah, this was my RGC. I don't have much else to say about it. It was great. I can't wait to see what's next for My Hero. You guys got any closing thoughts before we go?
I really liked how much people started to kind of. It's kind of like. I kind of liked how much Deku was involved with this process, where it's like, you know, he was going to do it whether they didn't want him to do it or not. They just decided to back him in this. You know, it wasn't something that somebody told him to do, and it's not like people stopped him from doing it. It's literally the Deku show, and there's a reason for it. It's not just because he's the main character. It's because he has this power that was given to him. So he has to become this person, and they recognize that, you know? And this is his step forward to becoming the symbol of peace at some point in the series, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm still not used to his suit looking so menacingly, though. You know what I mean? Like, I
Sure,
feel
it'll
like
change.
with the hood on and all that stuff, he looks kind of like it doesn't match his personality. But I still like the suit. Don't get me wrong, but it feels odd being on Deku when it looks like that, you know?
Weirdly enough, looking back, the suit looks a lot better than when the series started, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
But, yeah, I mean, Deku's suit itself has always been kind of like lackluster, in my opinion. But I think that's kind of the point. I think he's supposed to get an official costume down the road when he really becomes a hero. And hopefully it won't have those weird ears that always looked out of place. But, I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got to say about My Hero Academia. Let us randomize.
He said, "Is this ice? Dickhead, is it cold?"
Undead Unluck. This is Undead Unluck Chapter 60, Truth. Josh, this was your RGC, I hear?
Yes.
Oh, wow. First time.
Yeah, first time for Undead Unluck.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
So it starts
So
off.
this-
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Go
no,
for it.
I just wanted to say how, like, this was the first one I read. I usually either read Black Clover or Undead Unluck first. You know what I'm saying? Unless I'm, like, real thirsty and I go straight for One Piece or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, it was weird because after I finished reading everything, I just kept thinking about how, like, yo, Undead Unluck was lit. Like, so that's what made me vote. That was honestly what made me vote for it. And I don't know. I'll explain later.
All right.
How I feel the way I feel. Let's cover it.
Yeah, let's get into it. We start off with this little, one-page flashback thing where Mui asks, "Why do you want to be the strongest in all creation, Shen?" And basically it's to, like, kill his teacher because he's responsible for his little sister's death. And we cut to the present where he's just shouting out, "Fang!" And Fang's, like, just got the fucking shiesty.
Dying.
He's like,
Some
"Ew."
super special movie just hit him with.
Shen's got the most shiestiest grin on his face as his student is desperately, angrily calling his name. And, yeah, he continues to beat up on him, and we get a little reminder that Untruth is an ability that only activates on targets that Shen is actually fond of. And it's not working on Fang, because Shen hates...
He hates that nigga, yeah.
He hates that motherfucker. And Shen doesn't hate everybody. He liked those zombies more than... He liked these zombies on sight more than he hates Fang, more than he likes Fang, who he's known forever. And it explains. It's interesting because, like, we get a backstory as to what happened to Shen's sister, and I guess they were like she was hanging over a cliff at some point, and he had her hand, and because of his untruth ability that awakened in that moment, it caused her to do the opposite of what she wanted to do, and she let go of his hand and she fell to her death.
Oh, good.
It was rough as hell. I'm not even gonna.
Yeah,
I already put two and two together. Like as soon as he started talking about it, I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, that was his moment.
Mm-hmm.
That was his negator moment."
Yeah.
When you kill your parents or something.
Yeah, he didn't have any parents to kill, so he killed his sister instead.
Nope. It's a good sister.
Mui tries to come in and do something, but she gets fucking clocked. She gets absolutely destroyed. And he basically kidnaps her. He's like, "Oh, your sister's death made you stronger. I wonder how much stronger this girl's death will make you."
Yo, petty as fuck.
Yeah, for real. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Meanwhile,
It's especially petty when he breaks down what he's about a little bit later on. But
yeah.
yeah.
Andy comes out and he's like destroying summer bodies, and he destroys one of them. It's not the core, but because Feng is riding on the real core, and you know Fuko notices that he's got Mui, and we actually get an explanation as to how Rip got younger, because if you remember way back, Andy killed Rip, and then a couple chapters later he came back as a 15-year-old boy. So that was pretty cool. Oh, I don't know 15. I don't know his exact age, but he was a child.
No, but the way it worked inversely, since he made him younger, it made him 150 years younger.
Exactly.
And then Undead has the nerve to ask this nigga, "Geez, how old are you?" Like, bro, you've been alive since.
I think Fuko asked that
Mad
question.
Loops, bro. Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. My bad. I thought it was weird for him to say that to him. Like, nigga, what? You the oldest one here.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Why are you butting in on our fucking quest?" And he's like, "I'm trying to develop."
Valid question.
I'm trying to develop some characters. And he's like, "We don't have time for this shit. Ragnarok's on the way, so get the fuck out of our way." And Fang's like, "Oh, Ragnarok, the battle with God. Sounds amusing."
Jolly Roger smile.
The Jolly
Where's
Roger.
my One Piece at? Go find it. Ha ha. No, but
I hid all my treasure in one place.
Your mother's house.
Yeah. You get one of these.
Nah, but and that's what I was talking about earlier when I was like, yo, his whole motive for even working with Edge. What was the name of their group? Beyond.
No, Under.
And
Under.
I said Edge.
Edge. Might as well be.
Yeah. It was like literally he's doing all of this just because he's like, man, I just want to fight strong people.
Yeah.
I want to see strong people get stronger before I bust their ass so I can know how strong I am.
Yeah.
That's his whole point. They just said, bro, we're trying to kill God. Stop playing. He said, ooh, that sounds lit. I can't wait to see him. Like, come on, man. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. He drops a bunch of bombs on them, but Andy, in a cool 2-page spread, comes through with his Gomu Gomu no twist rifle type move, where he twists his fists around and then explodes it off of him. Knocking.
He said, no one will get in the way of my conquest.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah. He knocks this fucking dude way to the back. He said, "Sit down," with his vortex fist. But Feng actually caught the fist. And the chapter ends with him catching the fist and going, "Jinkai!"
Dude, you gotta be a fool to think you could beat our buddy to hell and leave without us putting up a fight. You know what that really meant, son. He said, nigga, you just beat the shit out of my friend. I'm definitely about to slide. What are you talking about? Nigga trying to, oh man, he this part of the reason Undead Unluck is like so awesome is because Andy is a dope character.
For real.
He is real extra at first, but then it kind of, like you said, it tones down. Like they stop being so OD with it after the second chapter, and then he's really unique as a protagonist. He's a middle-aged man.
Yeah, I think
he's an Ajuma male.
I
That's
guess
a new word I learned. Did you know the word Ajuma?
No, what is that?
I'm probably announcing it wrong.
You say Ajuma male?
Brian has definitely, yes. So Ajuma is apparently a Korean term for middle-aged women, and someone used it as an insult in the comic. It was like, "You're just a worthless Ajuma." I was like, "Damn, son," because like. I guess in some of these other places that women already take their age seriously, but they're probably way more blunt about it in other places. Like, who gives a shit about you? You're ugly and old. You know what I'm saying? It's fucked up. But I guess that's where the term comes from. But Ajuma means middle-aged woman, so I have to say Ajuma male. Yeah. It's popped up in Solo Leveling a couple of times, actually. I don't know if Ryan can remember the word itself, but...
The more you learn.
They're both Korean. Yeah.
Damn it, that's the one sound I didn't get. I gotta get the more you learn. But, yeah, no, I agree. I think Andy is just like a fun shonen protagonist, even though he's old. He's like one of the older protagonists, I think.
He's like your uncle, your big bro, and your dad all at the same time. And I guess Fumio's
Fuko.
Fuko's elder statesman boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know, girls love older guys, right? He's all of that packed into one, and he just hit this nigga Fang with all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
It was really fun, and I don't know. I like these characters. I think Shen got deeper. Fang is a really dope villain, and then he's that nigga.
Yeah.
Really dope chapter.
Yeah. I'll say this. I mean, like, Undead Unluck is incredibly fun when it gets going, and you know you're in the middle of like really cool action, and the power system is so fun. You know, where it's not like detailed and it's not intricate, and there's no like. There's a little bit of strategy, but you know it's like just fun. This dude,
not everything has to be that way.
Yeah.
It's just that when you're lackluster in most other areas, you're like, damn, can we please at least get some more?
Yeah, I mean, it also helps that they apply everything in such a unique way. Like, literally, a lot of Andy's powers is just blowing shit off of him for different reasons. Like, he blows off his legs in order to, like, fly in the air and shit.
Shoots rocket punches at his enemies to vanquish them. He puts his sword in his body. His body is the holster.
Yeah, he sheathes his body.
He can't die anyway.
He's got the sheath body.
Sheath body. Sheath back.
Yeah. But, yeah, very fun chapter. Long overdue for Undead Unluck. It's a great series. Very fun to read. But that's all I got to say about it. You guys ready to bring this home? Well.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys so much for listening. That has been our show. Wowee. A long one, but you know what? We had a lot of stuff to talk about. We had 10 series all in all. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. You can follow me at the Chris Aspinall, at JDCole_37, at B.ESP. Follow Brian's Twitch stream at twitch.tv/itspunchline. Email us at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com. Follow us at New Jump City on Twitter and Instagram as well. Comment below if you like the show. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes and subscribe to us. We are on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, if that's a different thing that you guys use. We're on a lot of shit. So find us, subscribe, and share the show. Very much appreciated if you did. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week, and stay safe, New Jump citizens.